Hey everybody, just wanted to show you a pocket letter folder that I designed to hold pocket letters for my swaps. This is the first one that I did. So this one I did for a tropical beach theme swap that I'm going to be sending out for very shortly. So I just want to talk a little bit about it and share it with you. So obviously I put her name on the front. So everything I did with the folder and the actual pocket letter itself, the front of the pocket letter, I'll use all Stampin' Up supplies for. Most of it is from the Tropical Chic bundle. So this is how the pocket letter would arrive when she gets it in this folder, and it's all tied together with a bow. The back is just plain. I didn't embellish it or decorate it very much. I did think about putting some designer series paper across the top, which I might do for a future pocket letter. The other thing I think I'm going to do just before I send it out is possibly round the corners, or I might do that on other ones. It's round the corners on it. So the front of it is a few layers of the cardstock. So I have a pink, green, so I think this is lemon lime twist, powder pink, white, and then I have some designer series paper, and then some vellum, which I cut using one of the dies from the Tropical Chic dies, and then just kind of affixed it on here. And then I did some stamping with the Stampin' Up markers to get kind of like the watercolory multicolor effect on the stamps, and then die cut these out as well. The letters were die cut out with the large letter framelits. So I die cut out the DSP, the designer series paper, and then I also die cut out some cardstock to put behind it, and then popped it up on dimensionals. I also added some enamel dots just to kind of mill the flowers, to bring in some of the other more tropical colors like the yellow and the orange, the grapefruit that I don't have a lot of. The hello was done, I just stamped it in Lovely Lipstick, which is also what the ribbon is, and then I use my Lovely Lipstick Stampin' Blend, so my alcohol markers to shade in the hello and color it in, and then I just fussy cut around it and stuck it on the front. So that's how I did the front. So the dimensions for that whole folder itself, the pink layer is actually 10 by 5 inches by 9 by 5 inches. And then I scored the 10 by 5 length at 4.75 inches and 5.75 inches to give it about 1 inch of thickness here across. The second green layer is it's cut by 9 inches by 4 1/4, and then so I did two, one for the front, one for the back. The white layer is 8.5 inches by 3 3/4 inches, and then the designer series paper is 3 inches by 7 3/4 inches. This designer series paper is actually a 6 by 6 sheet, so there is kind of two pieces stuck together very carefully. When you can't, I don't think you can tell, which is awesome. But if I used a 12 by 12 set, I wouldn't have that issue, obviously. Okay, so let's open it up. So as you can see, I glued ribbon kind of in the middle, and then on the front and the back, and then tied it in a bow. So she should have to untie the bow when she gets it. And then it opens up like this. So this is kind of the first row of the pocket letter that she sees, that I kind of like that I coordinated it with the folder itself. This is a butterfly paper clip that I made using a gold paper clip and a butterfly from the Butterfly Gala set that Stampin' Up has. So I stamped it twice and used their matching butterfly punch to punch it out after I sponged it with some different colors to give it kind of that blended effect, and then I just glued it on the front and the back. And I'm going to push that up so you guys can see it a little bit better. There we go. Okay. All right, and then this is the pocket letter. So I open up like this. So I designed it was a tropical beach theme, so I did it so that the first row is kind of like the tropical kind of rainforest palm tree layer, and then you move on to the beach, and then you move on to under the sea. So most of this is current Stampin' Up product. Again, I have more butterflies that I punched out, more things from the Tropical Chic suite. The Dream is a die cut from the die cuts with the Dream Catchers. And again, I use Stampin' Blends on this, and Pineapple Punch. The Just Breathe is fussy cut from the Colorful Seasons, and then the Sea of Textures stamp set and matching dies I used for the underwater layers, the sand dollars here. The sun, again I used Stampin' Blends on that, so behind it is a punch, one of the Starburst punch, and then I used blends on this, along with Wink of Stella to make it sparkly, and this is from the Easter Medallions dies. The sand, if you can see that on here, is actually the shimmery white embossing powder that I mixed with 2 different shades of re-inker. I think I used Sahara sand and some Soft Saffron, 1 drop of each, and mixed it in to get the sand color, and then just kind of smeared it on the designer series paper and let it dry before I did the rest of my layers. The sand dollars are cut on Sahara sand cardstock with some Champagne Mist shimmery ink sponged on, along with a little bit of Sahara sand just kind of sponged on along the edges. The mixed drinks, this set is not current, this is a retired set, so you may be able to get it on a buy and sell site, and I use the fine ink glue pen to make, I don't know if you can see because it's in the plastic, but to make the glasses actually seem like glassy. You just put a layer of the glue all on it and let it dry overnight, and you get like a glassy effect, 3D type of thing. And then I have the Sea of Textures layer. So this mermaid is actually retired, but we do have a newer mermaid. It's a little bit bigger that you could do if you wanted. This is from the Myths of Magic suite that we had. Again, I use my blends on this. I use my blends on the octopus. 3, 4, 5. Yes, that's octopus, not squid. I think, right? I count 8. 1, 2. I'm not sure. Anyways, I think I count 8. So I embossed it in white, and then I actually colored it over with the blends, and then kind of dabbed it off with paper towel to get the kind of like a watercolory, funky mixed media effect, and then again sponged it with, I think, Champagne Mist shimmer ink on top. This is the copper trim that I pulled out to kind of look like a little bit of a net. And then I did a shaker pocket using the Tranquil Texture sprinkles. So they almost have like the little bits of rock and stone and stuff in them, along with different color beads and stuff. That's just kind of very like sea-like. And then I added a few other lovely lipstick shaded sprinkles that I happen to have in there. I used my fuse tool to seal it up. And then here I did like an underwater treasure chest with gold and copper foil. So I used the Subtles Dynamic Impressions embossing folder to get the texture on the coins. Hopefully you can see that. And then I just used a tiny, like regular size hole punch to punch out my coins. And the wood textures paper to do the treasure chest. So the top half of the treasure chest is half of this same label as this, but I just kind of cut the top off of it because it looked kind of treasure chesty to me. And then the bottom is from the wood crate framelits. I just cut the like 2 slabs of it and cut it in half and kind of pasted them over top so that was attached on either side. But once you put the coral and the seaweed in there, you can't really tell. So you could probably just do like 2 little strips and you would have the same effect. So that's the pocket ladder, and then so the folder. Alright, so yeah, so I had this attached to it. So this again is more just designer series paper from the Tropical Chic suite. So this would flip up like this, and then again another die cut. I think that's from Sunshine Wishes. So this piece here is 4.5 by 6 inches. I have a little hinge piece of white cardstock in between that you can't see. That was about 3 inches by 1 inch, scored in half. So you have 1/2 inch on either side to make the hinge. And then I have a sheet of designer series paper here that's 3.5 by 4 3/4 inches. And then for the pockets, I did 2 pockets on either side so I could stick some journaling cards and other kind of things in that I've gotten from my swaps or some other kind of summary cards that I have. on either side. So these pockets are 3 inches. The paper is 3 inches by 4 3/4 inches. I think I measured that. I hope I did the math correctly on that. Scored at the 1/2 inches on 3 sides. I just want to make sure I didn't double up that. So that's 2 1/2. So that's, yeah, that's right. Okay. So 3 inches scored at 1/2 inch along the bottom and 1/2 inch along the sides for the 4 3/4 to make kind of the, so you can glue it down. And then I just used a little 1/2 inch circle punch and just lined it up halfway to punch out the little notches for the pockets. My glue, I use this Tombow glue for pretty much everything. It does not leave like your little like warpy glue lines like a lot of cheap glues do, and it's really sturdy. Where'd that come from? Which is why I really like it. I had actually started using like snail adhesive and fast fuse, which I like, but I found over the long term, especially the snail on heavy duty stuff, it doesn't hold together all that great. But this Tombow is fabulous. I had avoided using it because I thought it would warp like glues I'm used to using, or I was used to using, but it does not, which is fabulous. The only thing you have to watch out for is it is super sticky and hard to get off your fingers, so try and keep it off your fingers or everything will stick to your fingers until you scrub it off. Okay, and then I use the bottom. I decided to do a larger pocket on the bottom so that I have room for like larger cards and envelopes and stuff down here. So again, this is all from the Tropical Chic set, except for this little embellishment that I got in a swap, and I thought it fit, so I added it on there. So this piece of Designer Series paper is 3 1/2 by 5, and then I scored it at 1/2 inch on the one side and on the bottom side and glued that down. And then I added another sheet of Designer Series paper and slid it inside. So this sheet is 6 inches by 3 1/2 inches, scored at 1/2 inch just along the bottom, and then I just slid it in and glued it down. And that kind of gives me a nice little envelope that's easy to kind of put stuff in and take it out of. And that's that. So that's how I designed this pocket. So I think I'll do future. I'm going to see how it mails and how much it costs to ship this way. And then design ones in the future. Like I said, I might round the corners, and I'll see if I decide to make any changes to any of them. But I'm quite happy with how this turned out, and I hope she really likes it. I just fold it back up and tie the bow, and then I'm going to wrap it in some tissue paper and get it in the mail. If you have questions about how much this ships for, feel free to message me, leave me a comment, and I will let you know what it ended up costing. Shipping rates did just go up on Monday. I'm in Canada, by the way, so we'll see what that costs. And this is going to someone in Canada as well, so hopefully it doesn't cost me too much. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to just comment below or send me a message. Okay, thanks, bye.